Let me drink.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Legion Lads. I am your host, JR, and today we got Robert and Jose. What's up, guys?
Hello, hello.
All right, let's start. First things first. Vet Fest fast approaching. I believe that is July 13th, 14th, to 15th, or
Nope, it's just Saturday, and it's Saturday the 13th of July.
are we doing the rest of the league on the 14th, though?
Right, but the Vet Fest event is on the 13th. So if there are people that are coming to the tournament, that is on the 13th. The full Veterans Fest convention, if you want to call it that, it's not a real full convention, but mini convention, is the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. But the tournament is the 13th.
More importantly, Jose, have you signed up?
Yes, against my will.
Robert, have you signed up?
Yes, I have, though I don't actually plan on playing. I want to judge, but I still need to hash that out with Roman.
Remember, I'll drop a 20. Okay?
I'm not.
I have also.
We'll see if Roman actually watches the pod, by the way, by whether or not he actually mentions that. So I'm just gonna say yes. For $20, I will give you every single judge call. And so the next time I ask, hey Roman, can I judge? If he says no, you're gonna give JR all the stuff, and I'll say, oh, so you actually listen to the pod. Otherwise,
well, realistically, he has to watch out for you and Nick because you guys both cheat against each other.
True. Yeah. If you and Nick are playing, I got to stand there.
How did I cheat? Where's this coming from?
You just always cheat. You're just at that general level of JR cheating. Okay.
You're so notorious that Daniel accused me of having your dice, bro. Like, are those JRs? I'm like, no, they're mine. I don't know what they're doing.
Robert actually has my dice, the cheating dice.
I do actually. Hopefully, I still need to talk to you, but I want to give some of those away to some of the players in the league that don't have a lot of dice because I have all these fancy Adepticon dice.
For the record, we don't really mean they're cheating dice.
Nope, they're 100% cheating dice. So if you want to get the cheating dice, make sure to do well in the league, okay? Because I'll have the cheating dice in one pile and the normal dice in the other. So
I ever tell you guys a story about how when I first got into the Star Wars is my first miniature game. When I got into it, people were just like, "Oh, you salted your dice," or just like that. They were throwing that word around. I was like, "What is that?" And so I looked it up, and oh hell no, to salt your dice and all that to do just to get a little bit increased percentage. Not doing that. That takes too much time and that wastes too much money.
Wait, so how does it actually work? Do you like?
So you
is it actual salt? Wait, maybe we shouldn't tell people.
No.
Pretty much, you just put a lot of salt in water. You make the water very dense,
and so then it won't flush down the toilet.
Well, then you put the dice in there, and then you like put it in a bobbles,
and then it won't flush down the toilet.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You know what the best way to get cheating dice is? If you went to Adepticon last year, I swear the Adepticon dice roll 10 times better than normal dice. So whatever my dice roll,
all wrong. You just gotta load your dice. That's all you gotta do. That's been a thing since forever.
Well, those definitely don't go down the toilet.
This is why you always share dice. If you just share dice,
100% share dice. If you're in a tournament and it's not a casual game.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Daniel? Share dice.
Sharing is caring. And remember, if you use your opponent's dice to roll 7 crits in one roll, and then you roll the aim and it's an 8th crit, they can't say you're cheating. They can just laugh with you because you rolled 8 crits.
For sure.
True story, by the way. I'm sorry, Hob, if you're watching this.
Well, everybody, remember our local players and any surrounding cities in the Fresno area.
The more non-Fresnans we can get here, the better, because I need somebody to come down here and beat JR. So
I don't even know what I want to take. Maybe I'll just take the
we'll talk about that later in the Vet Fest section, but this is just the intro about Vet Fest.
Okay. So July 13th, everybody sign up. It's just all you're paying for is the entry fee to the convention.
And that's 25, right?
25, yep. And the tournament is free.
Yeah, 25. It actually gets you 3 days again. So if you are a local person, you can actually sign up. Yeah, we can hang out. So we're gonna do the league stuff, and maybe I'll talk about the league right after this. But we're gonna do the league stuff on Sunday. I know Nick is gonna do a learn to play on Friday for MCP. I kind of want to do a Legion learn to play on either Friday or Sunday as well, but I need to talk to them and to Roman about that. But I think that'd be cool if we had a couple of us do learn to play for Legion. Get some of those old war gamers over there playing their actual military stuff and say, hey, come over to the Star Wars side. We're more fun, you know. We have lightsabers. Who needs accuracy and tanks and precision bombing? You know, you can have lightsabers and stuff. So we'll try to convince some of those guys.
It's hard though. It's so hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Their games,
which I respect, right? And some of those games look awesome, by the way. So if you want to just go there, like I know I told somebody and they're like, wait, they have this World War II war game too, and I'm like, yeah, if you show up for an extra day, they'll be playing it. So yeah, we're only doing 1 of the 3 days for Legion.
Hell yeah! I wonder if is anybody bringing Shatterpoint there?
Ooh, I don't know.
Not that I know.
You can always bring it, right? There will be free tables there. So if you want to play Shatterpoint, just say, hey, who wants to play Shatterpoint? And just do it.
Yep.
Maybe ask in the Discord because there's a lot of Shatterpoint players.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if you're not a Legion player, if you want to play X-Wing Infinity, just bring it out there. There's not free tables, you get to pay for admission, but once you're in, there's tables. So should be tables to do stuff on. As for the league, I have bought some of the prizing. I'm waiting for the Brits on another package. I messaged Ollie like 2 weeks ago to get one of the That's No Moon kits, and he hasn't gotten back to me, so that's great.
Have you collected all the money, by the way?
Most of it. I still haven't gotten your money. Yeah, no. I was gonna say I still haven't gotten your money.
Or John's, sure. Because John.
Yeah, because you're paying for John. Yeah. I'm keeping track. I know.
Oh, but I do Venmo. God damn.
You can pay me eventually. Like as long as I get paid eventually.
Yeah. Don't worry. Next time I see you.
Round 5 has begun. I've also posted your pairings for round 6. It looks like last round we had another game where JR cheated against Nick, but that's okay. Nick was cheating too this time. Jose beat Daniel.
I did it because Nick cheated. That's why.
Got it. Jose beat Daniel, which is shocking. I never thought Jose would ever beat Daniel. And then
that was my first win against Daniel ever.
Oh shit! Really?
With Dooku, the guy I said I was gonna beat him with.
It was awesome.
I want to hear that story when we get there.
So and then I don't remember. It was probably last Sunday. Now that I think it was last Sunday, we actually got 3 games in the shop all at once for the league. Scott came down from Modesto and he got a game in against myself and against Daniel. And we talked about that last week. So this was over a week ago now, and I'm just looking at the league post. Anyways, round 5 and 6 are up. Get those games in. Last day to do it is basically the day before VetFest. So if you need to use that Friday at VetFest to get your last game in, go for it. I don't actually care as long as on Sunday I know who's playing. So hopefully everyone will have their games in before then. Please get your games in before then. But if you have to take that long, do what you have to do. So get your games in. Get your games in.
Round 5. What's going on? Where's my round 5?
You don't have a round 5?
No.
So why don't you and I just play in this round? Like, why don't we play a game this week? Because
to be honest, I'm just trying to get my game to select. I'm fine to do my game with you.
Yeah, because you have two games Daniel. Next set.
I have 3. I still need to get my game with
3
Scott.
Games next set? Oh, well, that one, yeah.
Yeah. And then Daniel, and then you. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm never doing this by hand again because this was a mess trying to deal with it. So yeah, why don't we get our game?
You did a good job.
Yeah, I did my best, and whenever the Toby stuff happened, and I went back into it, and I tried to like fix the league to be one less, like it all got all junked up, and so there are a couple people with no round 5s, and I looked to yesterday when I was doing the post, and I'm like somebody didn't have a round 4, apparently you don't have a round 5, and it's like I tried, but you know,
how many games do I have left? Just Roman and Scott, right?
Well, you should know how many people you've played. And
I don't even know who I'm playing until they message me, bro.
Start messaging people. So let's see. So I'll look for you. So it's all in the post on Discord. You know, I
ain't got time for
a little bit of time. I spent a little bit of time making these for you people.
Poor Rob, he's all making it nice. And everything.
You realize the part of the community you're in, right? You're lucky you're getting games played.
Round 5 is Valor versus Scott. So go take your little motorcycle up to Modesto and go play Scott.
If you could convince Scott to go play at your house, Jose, I'll go to your house to play him too as well.
Oh, there you go, Scott. If you're listening,
yeah. Because it's hard because I know he's only mostly free on the weekends, and I'm usually busy on the weekends, and then the shop schedule.
Yeah.
That's the part that's crazy. Is I think the only opportunity I'm gonna have to play Scott is probably gonna be on the 23rd because that's when the wife works and I have that Sunday off.
Damn. So yeah. He's gonna be gone right about after that. So get your games in with him. And then let's see. Round 6, your opponent Jose is.
What if we don't get our game in with him?
The winning. So the wins are. It's based on how many wins you have total. So if you don't get your game in,
so if we can't get a game in with him, we don't get an extra win.
Yeah, because I can't just give one of you the win and not the other.
I think
so it count as a draw, and we already said no draws. So
that's dumb. Sorry.
How are we supposed to deal with this? I don't know. I've been
trying, Scott. Scott, if you're listening, I've been trying to get a game with you this whole time, my man.
Just play it on TTS at this point. Like
he doesn't have TTS.
Oh God.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. My girl said that today. I was like, what? Yes, what? They're watching King Kong versus Godzilla. They're all Jinx. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
But yeah, just do your best. I'll figure it out.
Because when is he leaving?
Oh, like the 30th. Whenever he leaves for RageCon, which is on the 30th.
June?
Yeah, of June.
You can just get on my handlebars on my motorcycle, Jared. I got you, Doug.
So like that, yeah. So like basically this week, next week, the week after, and then he's gone for like 3 weeks. So get your game in with him while you can. Just do your best. Just keep pinging him on Discord. Or get his Facebook or something.
I'll reach out to him and see if he wants to come over down on Sunday the 23rd, and we'll just hammer both of them out.
I think he should be more adamant in trying to get his games in with us because
he has. He's been posting it.
It's just hard. It's just hard because he's look. I'm gonna leave it at what I say, but he's in Modesto. It's an hour and a half away. It's not easy to just drop everything, get a game in here, especially because there's 8 people or 7 people, or whatever, with very different lives, very different schedules, and it's just hard. So maybe in the future we figure something out to make it a little easier on us. But
here's the plan, JR. I set it up for the 23rd. He'll play both of us. You play him first. So by the time he gets to me, he's mentally spent, and I just pick up the scraps.
But anyways, I think.
Go ahead.
We're leaving this conversation.
Well, before we leave this conversation, what's more important, I want to know more than anything, is my cousin Noah, the champ, gonna keep it and pull through to the Lisa League?
He's 100% moving up, right?
I'm taking his spot. I'm swapping with him because I think I'm gonna be the worst.
Well, you already got to win. Roman needs to get a win.
Roman's gonna beat me.
Then you both are screwed. I don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, it's probably only to be one person moving, if I had to guess. So we'll see. I'm just hoping everybody sticks around for the next set. Okay, maybe we just do one league for the next set too. But I think we liked the 2 leagues.
I do like the 2 league. I feel like the bar league are really having fun and enjoying it. And I feel like if they face me, it would not be fun. It would not be fun one bit.
we have the I don't want to play JR League in the JR League.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So. Or it's okay because right now you're still winning the Lisa League, so you should be content. But yeah, Noah's 4-0 right now with clubbing the baby seals. And you better make sure he comes back for next league in the Lisa League. You better make sure he doesn't
he's gonna retire, bro.
No, he better not retire. He better not. I ain't allowing that. So you don't get to just club the baby seals and walk away.
No, you don't know Noah. He disappears. He disappears fast.
Like in the dark of the night.
Smoke bomb and he's gone.
Yeah,
ask JR the last time Noah beat JR. JR's never seen Noah after
I've never seen him again.
He's never played him.
Well,
never got that rematch.
So at this rate, right? At this rate, there's a chance that JR and Noah are going to play on that Sunday of VetFest for the Grand Championship, right? So that could happen. So
really,
well, yeah, the top of the 2 leagues are going to play. We're doing a top 2 match for each league on that Sunday, and then the winner of those 2 matches are playing for the first pick of the grand prize, basically, because the 2 grand prizes are store credit and the Jose painting. So whoever wins gets to choose.
Paint. I need that painting.
But you have to beat Noah for that. So.
That Galactus that we showed.
No.
All right, we're so off topic.
We're so on a tangent here.
Let's talk Legion.
Everybody watch the podcast.
How did you beat Daniel? How dare you beat Daniel? He is a father of a child, and
A
you
new
beat him
father.
down.
Hey, Daniel comes in all tired, backs on the side.
He
Jose's
did.
like,
No, he did. He came in and he was like, the whole game, he's like yawning. And so I'm dying. He walks in, he looks like half asleep, like not Yoda Daniel from LVO, but like almost close. And I'm like, so how's the new baby? And he's like, tired. You don't get enough sleep.
I
So
feel for him. I
I
know
was
what
just
that's
like,
like.
yeah, here we go, buddy.
Yeah.
No, so it was fun. So little history for those of you who probably don't remember this episode. Me and JR and Daniel
Well,
did a
before you start,
ranking.
did he know he was had a game with you?
Yeah. We reached out to me. We were talking about it. I was trying to get this game in, and we were juggling all the days because I knew I had to get the day in with Scott too.
Oh,
So
I was hitting up for a game to get our league game, and we were talking about Sunday, and then I never got back to him. And then you guys were playing on this exact time we were talking about. I was just like, wait, was this always a thing? Damn.
yeah, it was an accident. It was an
It
accident
probably
because
was. Yeah.
he wanted to do like during the week, but after 5 I couldn't. He wanted to do it today after 5, but there's no way because that's when the girls eat dinner. And then I was like, well, what about Sunday? And he's like, well, I got things I got to do. The earliest I could probably do is 12. I was like, well, let me check with the wife because Saturday is a no-go. And then we had a birthday party to go to. And I was like, look, I said, if you come at 12, we could probably get this through before I got to leave. What do you think? He's like, cool, let's do it. And then we just started.
Okay.
So it was like really like it was looking like it was gonna be I was gonna have to play Daniel like on a random day and then play Scott like the next day, however that mathed out. But luckily we were able to make it work. But
Okay.
so for those of you who have been watching, and for those of you who haven't, a long time ago we were ranking Force users, and me and JR were very high up on us on
You can
Mr.
actually
Count.
go watch that episode.
Yeah,
Well,
Count Dooku.
this is back when you guys were the Lost Legion.
Lost
Lost
Legion.
Lost
Yes.
Legion. Oh, okay.
So
Much worse
when
name.
we were ranking all these Force users, we went through OP Luke, we went through Vader, went through everything, the list was looking nice and legit. And then we get to Dooku, and I'm like S tier, JR is like A tier, and then
what the fuck?
And then Daniel's like, wait, what? He's like C tier. And
Thank you.
What?
Good call, Daniel.
Like,
I'm with Daniel on this.
He's like, how is he as good as Luke and as good as Maul and all that? Me and Jerry were like justifying it, right? And so Daniel calls me out. Daniel's like, you know what? The next time we play, you bring Dooku. I want to see you. And I was like, well, I'm not playing Dooku right now. He's like, oh, great. Somebody who's voting for Dooku, but doesn't even play Dooku. So I was just like,
I mean, your guys' tier lists are bad because you rated Bosk as C tier. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like,
when's the last time you won with Bosk?
What do you mean?
Exactly. When's the last time you won with Bosk? Just give it to me.
It was when was the last Bakersfield tournament? So last month.
Last month.
Yeah, last month. Like not that long ago.
Nah.
I've been on a Vader Palpatine kick lately, so that's not fair. Like, but anyways, you thought Dooku was C tier, which is objectively correct, and you thought he was S tier, which is just a wild take.
So to me, like the point I made in the podcast, and Jared agreed, was that to be ranked S tier, you have to be able to put a game on your back and win it on you alone. Let's just say that Dooku just did that in the middle, bullied Boba Fett, bullied freaking shotgun fleets, bullied everything, having his way, looking at Cassian. Anyway, I'll get into that later. But anyways, so
what were you playing the full list, and what was he playing the full list?
Okay, so the full list, I told Daniel I had to apologize though, because my list was terrible until you guys made some quick tweaks to it. So Daniel's like, oh, the betrayal. So what I ended up playing, the core list was like my thought of how I wanted to run like a traditional CIS list, and I basically moved some stuff around with the help of JR and Rob. And what I settled on was, I called it Classic CIS. It was Dooku with Force Choke, Force Push, Force Reflexes, and Vigilance. The T-Series Tactical Droid with Improvised Orders. 3 B1s with the Rocket Launcher. 2 B1s with the E5C. 3 BX Droid Commandos with Tenacity, Emergency Transponder, and Vibro Swords. Just all yes, and
I mean, it's just a hyper melee aggro list. If he wasn't
here's the funny thing.
That,
here's the funny thing. You know how many things got in melee?
How much?
Dooku and 1 BX.
That's insane. Wow.
Like actually damage wise, Dooku and 1BX. Mando murdered 2BXs on his own.
Good for him.
So it was like I said, when I get to how everything happened, it was so funny.
What was
So
the?
then
And so what was Daniel's list?
so Daniel's list was bring it up right now. So Daniel's playing classic Rebel Hero Hammer. He brought Cassian with the sniper rifle,
Well, no wonder he lost. He's
Land
playing Rebels.
Lando with Underworld Connections. He was playing Din with
Oh,
Tenacity.
this is what he lost to Scott with, isn't it? Did he have two
Tenacity.
buses?
No.
Oh,
Tenacity, Din's flame projector, his backpack, and the Ambam rifle. He had Old Man Boba Fett with Tenacity, his flamethrower, and recon intel. He had Fleet Troopers with the shotgun and the extra guy. He had 2 Rebel Troopers with the Ion Trooper. He had 1 Rebel Trooper with binoculars, and he had the speeder truck with the medic and the Gonk droid. So this list was actually, besides the Pierce and the small dice pools, he had the stuff to take me out. He had flamethrowers, he had ion weapons, and it just didn't work. And I thought it was pretty crazy. So I did take notes for this because I feel like I had to do a better battle reporting. So I take blue player, he takes table edge, and so we make Daniel shuffles the cards and we flop. So this is the flop. I took pictures of it so we can get it all in. So blue from left to right is intercept, KP, recover, and hostage. Red is hemmed in, battle lines, major offensive, and advanced positions. Green was fortified positions, supply drop, hostile environment, and rapid reinforcements. So I blue player got to go first. So I didn't like the idea of giving rebels extra heavy cover. So I banned fortified positions. Daniel didn't like the idea of hemmed in with my like aggro list, so he got rid of hemmed in. I figured next in the line was supply. I had no problem playing intercept just because of sheer numbers I had in bodies. So it was between battle lines and supply drop. And then behind battle lines was major, and behind supply drop was hostile. I'm running droid, so I'm going for hostile. So I turn off supply drop, and then Daniel once again, probably because of the melee skew, gets rid of battle lines. So we end up on intercept, major offensive, and hostile environment.
No.
Huh?
See, major. I don't like that last call because major offensive intercept. I don't know. Anyways,
What's after intercept?
Key positions. And at that point, I was just gonna chill back and let Cassian do his thing. And you could take 2 guys off of my B1s. I'm just gonna go over and grab
yeah.
everything.
Who had the higher bid?
I had blue player. He was at full 800.
Okay, so I mean he's automatically winning there. He can kind of stay in his deployment for his intercepts. Yeah, it's not that bad. I
I
don't know.
mean, I don't
Well,
know.
the
'Cause, Dooku will just eat you up in that middle point.
then that's what happened. And the funny thing is,
Yeah,
it was weird. It was like he had like a game plan, and it made sense on paper. But the funny thing is, like, not having those HQ uplinks didn't hurt me like I thought it was. Like I was able to make sure that so my B1, my BXs not having orders was not an issue because by the time I needed to make a decision, like I was in melee with Mando. So my AI was going to be dodge or attack. Well, of course I'm going to dodge. I'm in melee with Mando. Like
right.
that's an automatic anyway.
And it's by the way, it's dodge move for BXs, not dodge
Yeah.
attack.
Well, dodge move. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, dodge move. So at the points I was at, like I never had an issue like with the BXs having AI because I was moving or I was dodging. It didn't really affect me
Right.
anyways. And them having charge is so good because if I have to AI move, well, cool. I'm just gonna move in, get my charge off, and then dodge. Like I don't know. I feel like it wasn't as it didn't hurt as much in the long run. And the same thing with the when I took the emergency transponders, I only needed them that one time to get me an extra aim on off. When the AI procs, I got my aim. Let's go move and then charge. I have the aim and I'm gonna take a dodge. Like it was really good. That BX pool is nasty, especially with tenacity. Dude, that I didn't realize that pool was that chunky.
Because it's 5 red, 5 white. It's literally Vader plus.
Yeah, no, it
Just
was
without the
insane.
Pierce.
I'm surprised Daniel didn't try to pick off the BXs.
So that's
So
when
what
it
did
comes
he?
out.
Yeah. So what did he shoot at? Like, okay. So okay. Before we talk about
Um,
that, before we
yeah.
talk about you're getting in, let's say deployments. Where did you
So
deploy?
that's what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
So the way Jared's very familiar with this terrain. It was my 40K terrain, the crush buildings, a lot of some line of sight walls, stuff like that. The big mountain ranges. You've played on it before.
Yeah.
And so like the way the table. So hot take here. I'm not trying to get in table discussion, but something I've realized is maybe we'll reach on it for another day, but this is the third time I've taken terrain and just on the table and just stood it all up. And Daniel came in and he was like, yo, this is a good looking table. Like, this is dope. Like, you have line of sight blocking here, line of sight blocking there. Here's some area terrain. Like, here's a build. Like, he
Jose's
really
just
dug
perfect. Just throwing it on the table. That's all he
it. And
needs.
so here's the hot take I have. So you know how we complain about the perfect table and things that are messed up and all this stuff. Do you think that we're ruining tables by overthinking it? Maybe we should just be vomiting terrain out.
We're not getting into this. Moving on. Leave that for the viewers.
That's
Post in our Discord what you think. Should
it's
we
the hot
stop
take.
thinking about tables so much? Post in the hot take channel whether
Look,
you
Jared's
think we
wheel
think about
spinning because
tables
now
too
it makes
much.
sense a little bit, right? I've had nothing but compliments. We're
Nope,
not
nope,
getting
nope.
into it, Jared.
We're moving on.
Stop.
The only thing I would say,
Deployments.
the only thing I will say is I think a neutral party should make tables when it comes to opponents on the table. That's all I should say.
I kind of agree. I felt Edward and I played this week. We're not going to do a full battle report, but I made a table before he came in, and then I was like, oh, but I kind of know what I'm playing, and I kind of know what I kind of want. So like subconsciously, like it was a super balanced table, but it's like
It's
I'm
hard,
like, but I'm playing Palpatine, so there's an LOS blocker, and I'm like, well, all tables wouldn't have that, but I have it because I'm playing Palpatine, and I'm like, there should be one, but I don't know. We'll talk about that another time.
So the way
deployments.
the way the deployments were is that you have the center KP in the middle, and there's two buildings offset slanted. Both have line of sight blocking. In the far corner on Daniel's side, there's one of those big old mountain masses. Jared knows what I'm talking about. And then on my side, there's that fish tank, like U circle, like big rock I have that's like looks kind of flashy. I have that on the opposite corner. And then you got like trees, you have various stuff, statues, stuff like that. So when we get to deployment, I'm like, I forgot how good it is to have core that you could just burn because they don't mean nothing. You're gonna place all your important stuff. I'm just gonna here we go to your next guy. And as we're going, Daniel's like, damn, you still got Dooku and all this. I'm like, yeah, so keep going.
What
so
was
anyways,
the way again? How many acts was
it? Daniel was I had 10, and I think Daniel had, I'll tell you right now, Daniel had 9. So he's already down an act. And the rebel trooper with the binoculars is basically doing the K2SO thing, but for cheaper. Not as efficient, but then again, I wasn't shooting Cassian anyways. So getting into like the deployment on my side in the back corner, I was like, you know what, I got my KP way back here that's like out in the open pretty much. Like when I have to go to, or my intercept, when I have to go to it to score, like Cassian is just gonna shoot, but I'm like, I got droids, it's no problem. This freaking slime MFer infiltrates freaking Lando on the top right of my intercept. And then he ends up putting the bus right in the middle in the panhandle, looking right at the freaking middle intercept. Then he scouts Boba on that top side to help Lando. So the idea is the bus is going to come bring the fleets to the middle while providing line of sight for his rebel troopers that are kind of filing behind it, while Boba and freaking Lando come on crashing on mine. So I was like, I got to mirror that somehow. So what I did was I pulled, I didn't exactly go for the honeycomb. I felt like with the STD and or not just with the regular tactical droid and with Dooku, I had enough where I could kind of wiggle around the complete honeycomb and actually space it out a little bit, which really did actually end up helping me win that game. And then so what Daniel was doing on the right side, I decided to mirror with BXs with Scout 3 on the left side, and then he just drops freaking Mando right there. And I'm just like, oh no, this is so bad. so so we have that little screen. I'm thinking I got two BXs and Mando. How bad could it be? Those BXs went down in a blaze of glory, and they did exactly what I needed them to, which was stall Mando from crashing in that left side. So basically, that's the setup. I got Dooku in that middle lane, hidden from Cassian, and I have all my B1s kind of like filtered in. I have one BX on the right side where Lando and Boba is, because my thing is, if Lando gets kind of crazy, I'm just gonna rush the BXs up there and try to choppy chop. So we get into turn one, and turn one, he plays Din's two pip, which
Okay.
gives him an aim token. And then he gets to perform an additional attack action against a different unit. And I play orbital strike. So when he had Boba peek out, I was like, that's who I want to hit, because he wasn't touching any terrain, and if I bomb him with this bomb, even if I don't get nothing through, I at least get suppression,
Right.
and I get one wound through on Boba, which is good enough for me.
Yeah.
He then blitzes Mando up and then jumps into my BXs and starts doing Mando things. By the time Mando's done, one of the BXs is down to two guys, and one of the BXs is down to one.
And he had spear, right?
Yeah, he had the Ambam rifle.
This is on turn one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fast,
Both
dude. Because the
BXs?
BXs
Yeah,
have the
how?
Scout 3, and then he had Speed 3.
How did he get into melee with two BXs?
I had to push them up because I was trying to hide them from Cassian.
Did
So
you melee based in?
No, he based me.
Okay, so how did he kill two squads on turn one?
He didn't kill two squads. One squad had two left. He has the card where he gets to perform an additional
So he
attack.
did he do like a flamethrower ranged attack with one of them and then a melee attack with the other? Like how did it?
How was it? No, he has Arsenal too. So he had the gun, he has his pistol, and he
Right.
has his Ambam.
Okay. I'm still not saying how he did that much damage with Din. But anyways, he fucked him up with
It,
Din.
it's only he only killed three. He killed
The sounds like he killed like five, which is a
no,
lot.
no, it's only 4-man unit. One unit got, so they're both 4-man units.
Oh, you didn't have snipers at all.
No,
Okay,
these are
okay,
rushy
okay,
boys.
okay.
Why do I want snipers? If I could fit
Got
the
it.
grenade, I would have loved it.
So he
But
killed two on one squad and like one on the other.
yeah,
Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah, no, it was enough. But my thing was, if Den's tied up with these guys, I can get some damage in. But the important part is he has to keep chewing through these guys because he's not going to let them live. Which means Dooku's kind of safe on that center point. The only thing I got to contest with is Cassian. So basically, it ends up being just a position game. I push up my B1s up to the right side, just out of range 3 of Lando. And because I was just out of range 3 of Lando, he was hesitant to push Lando up because he didn't want me to just go off on Lando that next turn. So he gets the bus, brings the bus up forward. He ends up healing Boba, which ends up giving Boba more suppression.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's great. Boba just basically is kind of like trying to stay out of harm's way, because what I ended up doing was I had free shots on Boba. So what I'm doing is I'm aiming and shooting the rocket launcher, just boom,
Yeah.
loading it. And Boba he's surviving, but it's like suppression. I'm like, cool, we're at hostile environment, like a sticky Boba, like that's good enough for me. It's just as good.
Yeah.
And it's old man Boba, so it's not fast Boba. So I had some spacing to do.
Boba
So
should not have been out of LOS. He should have been hiding. Like, or I don't know.
I think he didn't think that I was gonna shoot the rockets. He probably thought I was gonna pile the rockets onto the bus. But once I saw I had the rocket shots on Boba, I'm like, I'm just shooting Boba. Like,
yeah, I don't like the bus in his list that much because it doesn't really have a payload for it.
It's just
Yeah,
heal. All it is, it's a payload for the fleet troopers. Yeah, it's a payload for the fleet troopers, but it's a heal for Mandos. But here's the thing: he misplayed, and I'll get into it in the scoring round because we actually pulled the rules on this just to double check to make sure I wasn't tripping. So, anyways, positioning, we're all good. So then we get into the second turn, and I have a newfound respect for this card. I
Okay.
play Roger, give my B1s dodges,
Okay.
and he plays this as a way, so he burns his Mando 1 pip. He
Yeah.
is fighting for his life, trying to get these BXs off of him because he sees Dooku and he's like, I gotta kill these guys, and then I have to I have to be quick and get over there to try to start burning up BX or the B1s.
Yeah.
So in this turn was pretty funny because what ends up happening is he starts moving Boba up to the center point so he can start getting ready to score.
Uh-huh.
And at that point he pulls Lando up to be in range of Boba so he can use his discard card to give Boba an order, for that next turn.
Okay.
And then he starts pushing his guys up. So he pushes the fleets up and he is like, cool, we're trying to figure out what the points are going to be. He's like, yeah, I have three. I have Boba, I have these fleets, and my bus doesn't count. He's like, and I have another group of rebel troopers that he had pushed up onto the side. And I'm like, you only have two. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the fleets and the bus don't count. And he's like,
They don't.
I'm pretty sure they do. I said, no. I said, open transport, they'd count. I said,
I
but
don't even know
closed
if do they
transport,
count in open transport?
yeah, because you're
Okay.
open. You're closed transport. You're blocked from the world.
Yeah.
And that's how
Okay.
it goes. Your only green tokens only matter. And he's like, oh dang. So I make some more positioning stuff. I'm trying to get Dooku ready to just pounce, old man with the cane just coming through. And we
He's
kind of
speed
laughed.
2, so he's not old man with a cane.
We kind of laughed
If you can't
because
jump, you're old. I'm sorry.
jump is
Fair.
essential. Because there was some moves that I couldn't get to in the later stages because there was a rock in my way. I'm like, damn you, rock, damn you. So anyway, so this is where it got kind of wild, is because I had already taken a couple wounds off the bus, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Let me split fire, and I'm gonna throw all my B1s into the bus, and I'm gonna rocket launch some rebels on the right side because there were two minis, right? Wait, you ready? Daniel's like, all right, cool. Okay, wait till you hear.
I don't care what the results are. It's still a bad play.
No, your
average.
stats are stupid. My dice proof stats are stupid.
No, averages still exist. Just because you got lucky does not mean averages do not exist.
I rolled 5 crits with regular B1s, no impact.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Okay. Oh no, wait, it was all game. I mean, luck is cool once in a while, but this was all game.
It's still
then
luck.
the rebels survived. And I was like, oh, that's a good trade, all basically broke his bus. So that forced him. So then,
if you shot the rocket launcher too, you could have killed the bus.
Yeah, but I'd rather have the bus isn't threatening to me. It's Boba. I'm worried
one
about.
less activation.
You're gonna wait. Just wait.
Okay.
It comes, Rob. It comes. There's on edge because he loves this.
Yeah,
so then
with Dooku, that's all that matters.
So then the next turn, he plays Boba's rocket launcher. And I play Dooku's 1-pip, fear, surprise, and intimidation, which gives Arsenal 2 relentless, and my range weapons.
Do you just one-shot Boba? That's how I would do with it. I'd one-shot Boba.
So yeah, it was pretty
or
bad.
Din, whoever you can.
So Din is still tied up with BXs.
Yeah.
So
how's that going, by the way? Who's winning, the BXs or Din?
Din's not wounded. He can't kill these BXs. These BXs, the one dodge is literally what they're living off of.
Wow.
So round 3, I don't kill Boba yet, but what I ended up doing was he had moved Lando up. Remember to give Boba that order if he needed it. So I walk up, unaimed B1s with cover, smash 3 wounds into Lando. Okay, so then he's like, oh no. So then he tries to tuck into cover to get heavy cover from the suppression and the area terrain. I then pull my full unit BXs that come around, wide open shot, no aim again, 8 white dice, and it's 5 or 6 crits.
Okay, so
Again,
you're
white
just
dice, white dice unaimed.
yeah, you're just getting lucky.
And
But
so then once that happens, he's trying to pull for boba. So at that point, what I do is I run up and I force lightning or whatever his range, force wave, whatever thing is,
Mhm.
just to put more suppression, because everything I attack gets more suppression.
Right.
So boom, I hit freaking boba. Boba gets suppressed, and then that next attack, I force so let me see that. No, Boba stays there. Sorry, I forced lightning or whatever the fleets to bring them around, because the fleets that got off took a shot at my B1s and left one B1 standing. And as JR knows, you never leave one B1 standing. So once that happened, I hit the fleets with the shock, and then I
Okay.
ended up pulling Boba into me with force push.
Right. And you did
So
that in
then
one attack action, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So once I brought Boba in, what was the other thing I did? Because it wasn't this turn I killed Boba. It was round 4 I killed Boba.
Well,
But the important
you did 5 red with no impervious, so that's still a lot.
no, his lightning attack. Yeah, but that's not till the next round. Lando died this turn. And then I ended up pulling Boba in, and he really couldn't do nothing about that. He tries to hit me with Boba, and freaking, because I have vigilance and because I have force reflexes, there was not a single turn except for the last 2 where I didn't have 2 dodges.
Mhm.
So it's just like, okay, cool, I'm just blocking everything. So ended up severely wounding the severely wounded the fleets, got them down to like 1 or 2. Boba's trapped in melee with me. So then we do more positioning stuff. He manages to kill my STD, or my tactical droid, because I left him open the turn before like an idiot, and he took 2 wounds. I just didn't get down to make sure he was safe from Cassian, and then Cassian just topped him off with that next one. So I lost that. So anyways, so Lando's down. Mando's still tied up with BXs. So then we push on into round 4. And when we get into round 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He plays hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he plays crack shot. So I'm assuming he has no more boba cards. So
Mhm.
he plays crack shot, and I play ambush, because now's the time I got to get boba off the table. I got Lando, let me get boba.
Okay. So who
Um,
won the roll?
I won the roll.
Okay.
And the first thing I did was I freaking took my reflexes to get 2 dodges again, and then no aim. I ended up just smashing Boba,
Okay.
and I used Makashi Mastery, and he just gets 1 block and 4 blanks, and I just pummel Boba into the ground. And then, because I saw my force push ready, I grabbed one of the remaining rebel troopers and pulled them into hugging me. So
Okay.
now I'm safe, and not really safe all the way, because at any point those rebel troopers can come out and Cassian could get a shot. But at that point, I wasn't too worried about it. So now Lando's off the table, Boba's off the table. I finished the bus off that round, so the bus is gone. So his line of sight blocker is gone.
And at this point, it seems
Um,
like he just went off of attrition.
yeah, because then he ends up, he actually finally kills both BXs.
Mhm.
But at that point, when he finally gets to the B1s, I got 2 B1s with 1 mini, and I got 2 full B1s, and then I got another full B1 on the other side with another full BX.
Okay.
So at this point, I got mine locked in. I'm just crushing the middle. He's making plink plays on Dooku. Fast forward to towards the end of the game. The only play he has is to get Dooku down, but by the time he gets Dooku down, it doesn't matter, because there's too many B1s. And
Got it.
I just flooded the middle. So basically,
Okay.
I think I killed everything except for he gets the bounty with Mando. And then at that point, I'm just like, okay, Mando must die now. So every B1 shot after that was an aim shoot, aim shoot, aim shoot. Because that worst case scenario, I suppress him. He doesn't count for the point.
Right.
And then the single lone B1, bang, crit. Mando whiffs.
Oof.
And all that's left
Guys.
is Cassian and his aim crew.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like an interesting game. It seems like he just got really lucky on dice rolls.
Nope. I'm not taking
But
that.
but also, it seems like Daniel played like very aggressively in ways that did not work to his advantage. So
He wasn't
like
planning
Lando
on
should
losing
not have
Boba.
been infiltrated next to your army. That's wild to me.
Well, maybe he had a plan to do that. Like maybe he had a plan to play
Uh,
Lando's cards because I think Lando's underestimated. I think he's a
okay.
really good
Um,
character.
I,
Because like this is a good example of like I get it, averages exist and everything. Like the probability of something coming up, but you don't know how the dice are gonna go. All it takes is one bad roll to finish a game.
And this was a melee skew. I had no aim tech. I wasn't even taking aims most of the time. These were
aims
just
don't matter that much,
dry
right?
shot.
Aims aren't be all end
Aims
all. They're
matter a
good.
lot. Like
No,
they
they're
increase
good,
your
but they're not.
chance.
They increase the chance, but on most dice, like on black dice, if you have 2 black dice, you're getting 1 extra hit, right? On white dice with 2 white, you're getting, I think it's like 0.8 chance to get another. Like you can get 2 with both of those. And I love rolling an aim and getting 2, right? But like you're not always gonna get that. You can't expect that.
So
So
I brought that point up to Daniel, and I was like, bro, I can't believe I was doing what I was doing. And Daniel's like, realistically, he's like, we throw too many dice with too many modifiers for statistics to matter. And that's a
uh,
good point. That's a great point because
I,
I've thrown, perfect world, with no modifiers. Yeah, I get it. But we're playing a game where modifiers matter.
so I mean my only point with dice is that it sounds like there are some movement things that Daniel did that didn't help him out. And he may have had a plan, but what they did was they put his characters in the open that should not have been in the open, in my opinion. You shouldn't have been able to put enough suppression on Boba to suppress him round 1. Like that's wild how open
Well, I
that
mean, to
Boba
be fair,
was.
you're playing intercept, right? You have to do something. You have to go for the middle.
Not on
and he
turn
did.
1.
He outscored me for the first round.
You know,
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
after that, it was just not his
I
plan.
mean,
Like the way he
He's
said the
also
list
not.
works.
If I'm him, I'm not feeling good with 3 rocket launchers because that can one shot. Like that can one shot your not one shot,
but
but
yeah,
it can
all
within one
combined.
round kill your bus. Right? If you turn on that bus round 1, it's probably dead.
Yeah, but I felt more comfortable with
I'm not saying for you. I'm saying for him. So I don't know, but Rebels lose is not or Dooku beats Rebels is not the ooh Dooku is the best thing ever you think it is. So I don't
Dooku is the
know.
best duelist there is. No one
Sure,
could beat him in a
sure,
1-on-1. Okay, fine.
sure. Let's talk about some other games for this weekend. Let's talk about them fast. So
oh
Oh damn!
hold
He does
on just
not
for,
like you
I'm
winning
not
that
no
game.
no 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 no. I just don't want this to
oh
turn
you
into the Dooku
just
so great show because it's
oh
like
Hey,
when he
hey,
wins
have
one
you have
game.
you have you played against a Dooku?
Yes, a good Dooku.
Whose Dooku
And
did you play against?
I don't know, some guy on TTS.
How do you know it's good?
I don't know. He
Okay,
played
then you.
well.
What are you
Like,
doing? What are you doing here?
what
What
do
are
you
you
mean?
doing?
How do I know if he's
What are you doing?
good? He played well, so he seemed like a good player.
Well,
Like,
you're the one making these statements, not me.
I don't know. I just don't think. I think he's too expensive for what he does, and
Yeah, he
he's
is
in a
too
faction that
expensive.
doesn't support what he needs to do.
So what Dooku reminds me of is the old Vader, where Vader just sucked. He was too high priced and he didn't have any that much tricks. I think they're just doing the same treatment to Dooku. Yeah, give him maybe more added keywords on his command cards, or let him have jump. I don't know, because
Yeah, I don't know how to fix him, but what I can say is if I'm in CIS and I'm deciding on what force user I want to play, I'm looking at Dooku at 185 points, and I'm looking at Maul at 160 points. And you know who's way better in every single way?
Maul.
Maul.
well hold on. And to counter that point though, Austin, I can't think of his last name, consistently makes top 4 with CIS with Dooku, not Maul.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
Dooku's
Like
not
Dooku,
bad. It's
Dooku's
the
good at.
player.
I'm not, and again, I'm not saying that Dooku is trash. Never bring him god awful. I'm just saying like he could be better, and like just because you won one game with Dooku does not mean he's amazing.
I no, I
I
with when it comes
he's
to pieces,
he's
stand
good.
by it's the player. I don't care. I don't, yeah, you could have your power rankings and everything, but I think it's Austin Miller is his name. That dude brings Dooku, he brings B1 spam, and he brings BXs. Sometimes he brings
I
the
don't think
guard.
anyone's going to disagree that you'd rather
Um
have the player over the unit, right?
Honestly,
Obviously, you can be a good player, and you know what? A good player, like I bet, like Jr. could show up to VetFest with complete garbage, and still beat a lot of the players there, right? He
I
could go with
honestly,
Rebels,
I
and
honestly want to do a. I really want to make a Dooku Saj list. I think that would be really good. But
so
it's
what
hard right now.
the thing about Dooku that I was telling Daniel is because we were having this conversation because Daniel believes Dooku is overpriced. He thinks
It is.
Dooku's points need to come down. But my
It
point, my
is.
point about reducing points on units is it doesn't necessarily make that unit better. It just makes you put better things in your army. I don't like the fact that people want to do things with Dooku because Dooku's such a different force user. He doesn't have jump to rely on. He has Master of the Force too. To me, Dooku's more of like a control piece. He doesn't have that 6 die. He has, he has a lot of like scatter, a lot of I'm gonna heavily wound something. I'm gonna counter other force users. Like his kit is a control piece. And
sure,
I think that's how you play Dooku. You don't play Dooku thinking I'm going to demolish everything. Yeah, I got lucky.
he's
I did not
just
expect to one shot that, but I
he's
think with
just
Dooku, it's a lot of board manipulation. It's a space manipulation, and you just work your advantages because if you want to run in a force user and you whiff on that attack, well, guess what? I'm gonna use Makashi, and you're taking at least 1 wound, and 1 wound on a force user we know can cause a major issue
he's
later on.
just an aggressive unit at a time where you don't see a
He's
lot
not
of
aggressive.
players. He is an aggro force user. Like if
He
he's
doesn't
not
have charge. He doesn't have relentless. His
what the fuck is he doing? Because all
I
his
just
command
said control.
cards,
He's a
he's
control
not.
piece.
So any other force user can be a control piece. Maul does control arguably better than
No,
Dooku.
Maul runs in and blends things.
He's still a
Dooku gets
control
relentless
piece.
for one thing. No, you have your aggro. You have your aggro force users like Maul, like Vader, and then you have your control pieces.
I think Dooku
Um,
is a hybrid, just like Vader is.
Yeah,
no,
You could play Dooku defensively, and you could play him aggressively.
he
I
hits pretty much like he's one of the hardest hitting. In
Yeah.
fact, because of Makashi, he might be the hardest hitting other than Ventress, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
um, saying he's a control, like I don't know, like he's controlling because he can hurt really hard,
Well, I mean, you're right, Rob.
and you want to
All force users are control pieces because of force push.
yeah. So when I say he's an aggro, like to me, like you just said, we can assume all force users are control. That's their primary function is they are range control, trying to keep you away from the army, trying to make it so if you go towards the objective, you're gonna get murdered, stuff like that, right? But there's two kinds. Like there's the aggro, which is and there's of course everything's a spectrum, but like you have the aggro, which has a Saj on one end, and then you have the defensive, right? Which are people who actually support an entire army, like an Anakin can be a super defensive. Like he can not even, or an Obi-Wan, they can do nothing an entire game attack wise and still hard carry game. Because Anakin has a shit ton of
when they need
tokens.
to,
Obi has
but
a
the
bunch of
difference
Guardian.
is when they need to, they got charge and relentless like
Obi
on
is
time.
not more aggressive than Dooku. Just
Dooku,
because he
you
has
get
charge.
relentless for 1 turn. And the
Doesn't
funny thing is,
matter.
on 1 turn, yeah, it does matter because on 1 turn, I almost whiffed it because I was thinking I had relentless. Like I had to double back and like, wait, I don't have relentless. Now this changes my whole game plan. Vader, I could just double move and smash. Obi, I could double move and smash. Luke, I could double move and smash. When Dooku doesn't have relentless, one of your actions is gone because you need to decide if you're gonna use an action to get into melee to be safe, or if you're gonna just stay in melee and have an action to aim or whatever. With Vader, you can take an aim and move and get a hit. All these other force users, you can do that. You cannot do that with Dooku. Dooku,
Actually,
you have
I
one turn
actually
to
agree
get
with
in.
that. I agree that if you don't have charge or relentless on your card, you're not really aggressive, right? You're more
Exactly.
defensive because of that reason. Now, granted, there are cards that can give you relentless for the turn or charge for the turn, but I think if you have charge or relentless, you're aggressive, and if you don't have
Built
it, you're
in.
defensive.
I don't know because like a Din is his entire job is to get into melee, and we don't say he's not a melee unit. not a brawler, but
I
just because he
mean,
doesn't have
Din's,
relentless.
we can all agree
Din's
that
a-
Din's a weird
Din's a
one.
clean Din's a cleaning unit. You want him to pick
Well,
off
no,
your
but you
one
can't
or two
expect that because
moves.
as you just said, he can't double move and attack, so he can't be like I don't know. I just like to me in the spectrum of force users, Dooku's on the more aggressive end, right? Because he has to be because a lot of his value comes from can he kill stuff.
Does he have to be though?
No, he doesn't have to kill things.
Because unlike because like okay, does he have to kill things? Great question, right? He has a single force push. He doesn't have any way to do it twice. So at best, like if we're talking a key position scenario where he can push one thing off the board, sure, or off the point, sure, that's great,
I remember those days.
right? But that's it, and that does and spending.
I think you're
200
selling it too shy because
But
Well,
compared
no,
to-
I'm saying in his defensive mode, right? If we're saying he's a control piece, right?
Yeah.
That's like the epitome of control. Like, so when you look at like what these other Jedi do, like one of the things they do is barrier, but Dooku doesn't really have anything worth burying. Like nobody's wasting 10 points burying B1s. Magnus,
you could bury your
maybe,
BXs and Magnus,
but it's just
Black
I don't.
Suns, Pikes.
Can you take Black Suns and CIS?
You
I don't think-
can. I'm saying it's an
You
option,
can.
right? Yeah, no, I'm not, there are things that are worth burying that hit like a truck in CIS.
I don't think you can you? No, you can't take
Yeah.
B. Oh, you can. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can
You
take
can.
Black
I've just
Suns.
never seen anyone do it. So
Yeah, there's
because
an option
B1s
for
are
that.
so good. Nobody
Yeah.
takes
You
anything but
could do
B1s.
B2s. You know, I agree. You probably don't want to bury your.
I just think that there are better things for points, and we're gonna go around in a circle. So I think
This sounds like I need to get on the Dooku train and just start making
sure
points.
start playing Dooku because
And then you could be like, it's statistically this. This is not why Dooku's good, even though I'm now proving it.
I mean,
look
one-
if I look
Several
if
Dooku's
I okay so I beat your
cards
commandos as Vader, so obviously commandos suck.
I think I do think
Anakin
commandos suck.
sucks.
I do think
Like,
commandos suck.
Just because you lose or win one game doesn't make or break a unit. So
Mm.
I don't know.
I once again I think commandos do suck, and I think it's just because there's no predator out there for
Pandas are
guard.
really good. What do you mean?
We live in a
Anyway.
world with no
Anyways,
snipers. Of course they're gonna be good.
No, we can go.
Rob, I'm gonna
Anyways,
laugh at our next pod when you have to eat it hard, bro.
For what? Eat
Dooku
it
needs to
for
be
what?
cheaper. That's
He doesn't need to be
Sure.
cheaper. He is fine.
He's not.
All right,
no, I think he needs to
don't
be
change
cheaper.
Dooku. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah,
I think
don't
he
change
needs to be
Dooku.
cheaper.
So
He has
let's
some problems.
Let's talk meta. Let's talk about this past weekend. So this
Oh,
past
before
weekend.
hold on.
Oh, what else we got?
We're jumping up a little bit, Ted. We
are?
forgot to cover Bad Batch.
Oh God, are we doing that still?
Yeah,
How long?
of course.
Oh, okay.
You jumped into the league and you just went on a tangent. And I'm just like, we need to do Bad
All
Batch.
right.
Because I think that's very important to this topic of what we think Bad Batch is good or not good. And I want to hear you guys' take on it.
Okay.
So they released all the information on Bad Batch. Bad Batch is an operative, 160 points, and you must equip Hunter, Wrecker, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair. And this is for the Republic.
Yeah, and if you want to actually put Bad Batch in a list, you have to use Tabletop Admiral because Legion HQ just doesn't update anymore.
We're never gonna get sponsored by Fifth Trooper at this point.
I don't want to get
I'm
sponsored
kidding.
by them. I want them to fix their websites. Like, I'm sorry, I'm frustrated. Just like JR was super mad at AMG a few months ago, and I'm like, do you
He's
hate
still
AMG?
mad at AMG.
And he's like, no, I really like him. And it's like, I like the Fifth Trooper stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the UI of Tabletop Admiral, but at least it works. You know what I mean?
I agree. Me and John were talking about that today, and we were talking
I
about
love
this I was
Legion
playing.
HQ. I still use Legion HQ. It's just like,
It's
please
not. Yeah, they
update
need
it.
to update the coding.
Same with Game Uplink.
But yeah, so rolled red defense dice, 2 health, courage 3, speed 2. They have impervious, scale, steady, sharpshooter 1. We're not red, which pretty much means you can't share tokens with clones. They roll 1 red defense die in melee, and they
Attack.
shoot in range 1 to 2, black and white. All their upgrade icons are just all heavies, which are just a corresponding.
So let's keep going
number.
over all their millions of keywords. So what other keywords do they have?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Okay, so Hunter is as a free action, choose a non-commander or operative enemy trooper unit at range 1 in a line of sight. Roll a black die on a hit or a crit.
Attack die.
Yeah, attack die. On a hit or a crit, that unit suffers 1 wound. And
So
it's
50-50. Yeah, 50-50 force choke.
I think it's more. I think it's more.
No.
No, it's 50-50. You're not counting
50-50. because it's
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, not
Okay,
counter
yeah.
surge. But it's a force choke. It's a shot of force choke.
50-50 force choke.
Wrecker is 3 health. It has a melee and range 1 to 2 gun where it shoots a black, a red, and a white attack die.
And it doesn't even take both actions like Din's Bam rifle. Like
while this miniature is on the battlefield, a friendly Omega in this unit cannot be assigned wounds, which that's okay. Echo, this Echo.
So real quick, Wrecker is also important because of his attack profile. It's a red, a black, and a white. So you add an extra red
and
to
extra
your
health.
dice pool.
Yeah.
And the extra health. So
Echo has reliable 3, the Bad Batch version. Tech has cache aim 1 and dodge 1, which is good, and tactical 1.
Tactical.
Crosshair has a range weapon of 1 to 5 and it shoots a red attack die. When an attack pool containing only this weapon, it gains critical 1, which that's okay. High velocity, Pierce 1, and Precise 1.
Pierce 1 is crucial for this unit, by the way. This is a core, effectively a super core with Pierce and Precise, and the way to get an aim. But anyways.
Okay, we're just going off that information I just gave you right now. Rob, do you think this unit is good? Yes or no?
Okay, so let's specifically talk about.
Oh, you got to mention
and then
the rebels. Yeah.
Well, I'll get to the rebels. I'll get to the rebels.
So we are specifically talking about in Republic.
Yes.
Yep.
In Republic, I think this is going to be faction defining. This is going to redefine Republic because it is that good. I'll put it this way: for 160 points, you get was it 11 health? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Health.
Sorry, 10, 11 health. You get 11 health, red saves, with basically surging defense.
Yep.
And impervious. Yep. And impervious for 160 points. This is going to be like literally defining. Like it's going to be like the new Padme. You're going to have blank and Bad Batch and stuff. Blank and bad. Like I honestly think the New Republic meta is going to be so different from a year ago because it's going to be Commandos, Bad Batch, and whatever, right? Because it all fits, right? Mm-hmm. You can literally take 3 Commandos and Bad Batch and still be looking fine on points. Well, now your core aren't going to be doing anything anymore, but that's okay because they don't need to anymore. You have 3 clone Commandos in the Bad Batch. And so you're going to have so much defense with that list, right? Just from that alone, that you're going to be sitting pretty. And that's 7 acts with your core. You can still fit in a Jedi. You can still fit in Anakin and still have 100 points. You can still fit in Yoda, Obi-Wan. And so they're going to be great. I honestly think they're like them and Commandos are just going to completely redefine the faction. Commandos already are. And I don't think Commandos do enough against DXD. But once you add Bad Batch in there, I think you're going to start thinking, all right, I think we're looking good, even in the gun line. Real quick, one last thing. I will say I'm not actually sure they hit that hard. Speaking of averages, because that is we're talking 5 black, 5 white, 1 red. So that's 11 dice with an aim, Precise 1, Pierce 1. So it hits really well, but I don't know if like it's going to be enough to say carry an entire game, which is what they might need to do for their new price point. But you know what? If all they're doing is taking shots off of, say, an aggressive Anakin, totally worth it. Like I can, like honestly, hot take. I bring Anakin with Bad Batch, and that is an aggressive Anakin with Force Choke. That's how I run it.
That's like, a wild take because nobody takes Force Choke on Anakin.
I know that's how I see it because he can't. He doesn't need to be protecting and defending an entire clone army. But you know, maybe you still bring barrier, but I don't know. I think choke Anakin with Bad Batch. Like now you have a Force Choke and a half. So who knows?
What do you think, Jose?
I think they're awesome. I've been on the Bad Batch train from day one. Called it by saying they were all gonna have their own upgrades. I don't have a problem with anything. It's just a lot of keywords, and this, and I'm not gonna go into it yet, but it's a lot of keywords. And then if they're all alive when they get their command card, it's even.
We didn't talk about the command card.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying
we should.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah,
he's saving it. To be honest though, I don't think this makes a difference in EXD, and I'm just curious. It's a range 2 unit that's beef, but like, what do you think this is going to do to EXD? Like, I'm just curious of how you factoring that in, Rob.
Just having the impervious and surge to block is going to mean that they can't reliably just plink away at you as easily. And I think that if I just think that with the steady and just fucking steady, to me, it's that's the make or break. It's steady.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
is.
they get
It's the fact that you can double move. Like if EXD shoots you at range 3, which they're gonna want to do, so that they can actually kill you, then they can't say, "Oh, we're exactly range 2. You can't get in range." You're like, "Nope, move. I'm now in range 2."
Don't they get to spend the surges to add a die to like their weapon attack pool or something like that?
That's
Yeah,
EXD,
but,
yeah.
yeah. But
So
that's
you
not
could
gonna
add that to
matter
their
right now.
snipers, right?
Right. So you're doing 4 dice at range 5, which you could do, but then you're giving up the center, right? A lot of EXD lists, most of the time, they want to get 1 or 2 range 3 shots in a game with their BXs to like murder a squad. So
I think the range 2 doesn't. The range 2 even with the steady doesn't. I don't know. I don't see it tipping that much because it's just one bricky unit. And even then, you're sacrificing your core, which is just I'm gonna go up on axe if I start picking that stuff off. Because if you're taking Anakin, you're not taking Obi. If you're taking Force Choke, you're not taking Barrier. I'm just gonna pick your core down, and then now you're down an act or 2 or 3 or 4. I
yeah.
think they're gonna be great. I think that that's more so gonna bring Rex and Cody into play more than an actual Force user. Um,
That's
it
that's
sucks
also a
though.
possibility.
It sucks though because I think this Echo's better suited than the regular Arc Echo, which is sad because I would love to have that bullet point not hurt the Arc Echo. But no, I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be a nice, strong, beefy unit. But I think that just the range 2 is going to be a lot to try to have them get in and all be healthy.
Oh, they're
Especially
gonna
with the way
get in.
things are.
They're gonna get in.
So what's your thoughts, JR?
I'm so frustrated. So, oh man, I just gotta calm myself down
Uh-oh.
because this unit is so good. Just like for all the bullet points you guys made, for 160 points. That's
So
the
cheap.
same price as Darth Maul, and that's an aggressive Force user. This thing is just gonna mop all over Force users, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong; they still got the Force push, which gives them the notch up, but the steady, the sharpshooter 1, all the keywords they have on each guy, and not to mention once you play the command card, which we'll go over right now. I think this unit is borderline broken, and I'm not a fan of AMG putting all. It seems like a tradition they're starting to do now. All the upgrade cards at 0 points.
So
Like they got rid of neutral cards and started giving the unit their own
right.
cards and put them at 0 points. It's like,
Yeah.
I think for this unit it makes sense though because it's a hero unit. Like
at
AMG, like I said
100
before, but
what?
AMG, like I said, AMG does heroes more than anything. They do MCP, they Shatterpoint. So I'm really not shocked by a hero unit looking and feeling like a hero unit. Like this feels like a operative. Like this doesn't feel like a normal chunky, squad.
Okay.
This is
Let
a
me put this in
character
perspective.
operative unit.
And
This
on-
is on
Let me
point.
put this in perspective, okay? This is a 160 point unit, 11th health, 13 keywords. 13. And on top of that, there's 2 effects you could do that are not even a keyword. You could just do these effects if you have Wrecker and Hunter in it. Like that's just
So the
bonkers to me.
Wrecker effect is not a real effect.
Sure, but
Oh
yeah.
God.
Well, I mean, it's for rebels, right? It's for rebels.
Yeah. So I think we honestly can just ignore that for now.
Yeah, but like it's so 13 keywords is still a lot. 11 health, that's a lot. And then 11 dice, I think it was. And they have, like I said, you double move, sharpshooter 1. You're just
and sharpshooter 1. Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to shoot at these guys because they got so much health. Like, do I ignore them? I don't even think I can afford to ignore them.
You can't ignore them. You cannot ignore them.
So I'm saying, like, can I? I don't know.
It's a Black Sun squad that's way harder to kill.
Way harder to kill.
Way harder to kill. Now two things in AMG's defense here. So the first thing is they only have keywords, right? They don't have any special effects. And maybe we talk about the command card now, right? Because all the command card does is
give them more keywords.
And so we were all right and we were all wrong in the fact that it's just a Bad Batch card, but there is an effect for each individual person. So I'm just gonna say we're all right in this case, right? Because they did have their own.
This command card is stupid. Let me go over it. All right, this command card is a 3-pip. It's called "What Do We Do? What We Do." It's only the issue in order to Bad Batch. This round, while the Bad Batch contains Hunter, they increase their speed by 1. While it contains Tech, they gain Tactical 1. While it contains Echo, they gain Reliable 1. While it contains Crosshair, they gain Precise 1. While it contains Omega, they gain Inspire 1. While it contains Record, their weapons gain Suppressive.
So they get tactical. If the whole crew's alive, they get tactical 2, reliable 4, precise 2, inspire 1, and suppressive, and speed 2 now. Or
Well,
speed 3. Yeah.
So they're not going to get precise and inspire at the same time because you can't have Echo and Crosshair, right?
Yeah,
so we can get rid of the inspire.
Sure.
We're just talking Republic.
Yeah.
So
this is, in my opinion, a turn 1 play.
I see it as a turn 2 play.
No, because you run the risk of getting somebody picked up.
Sure, but
if you could do it safely and not be shot off turn 1, then I agree. Then you play turn 2.
I think you like last first with them, and you can't first because it's a 3-pip. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's risky. I think you do it because you get your speed increased by 3. You could double move and shoot, and now you put all of their army focused on Bad Batch. While then
that's
guys,
fair. Yeah, maybe it's around 1. Yeah. I definitely don't think you save it for the end of the game. It's definitely around 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think the reliable matters. The tactical precise, though, that's spicy.
You're rolling, we just said 11 dice.
Yeah, the precise and tactical, because that's now 2 aims, and you're re-rolling 4 dice each. That's
and you know what helps is having reliable, because you can turn those
they're non-surging.
I mean, to be fair, it's not the biggest. It's a big dice pool, but it's a black and white, right? Aside from the 1 red.
Right.
Honestly, I think you go down in dice to roll Crosshair's weapon, so you get the Pierce 1.
Yes. Yeah. So it's 2 red, 4 black, 4 white. You want the Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is ridiculous. I think this is just crazy to me. I mean,
so on average on this turn, right? I'm waiting for the dice simulator to work.
I mean, I'm happy for the Rebel and the clone players because this seems like a really fun unit to play. It just seems like it's just overkill.
You know what's funny is like the guard players haven't even been screaming for Bad Batch. They've been screaming for Ahsoka. Ahsoka was revealed a long time ago. She still hasn't.
It's just like Gar is like the cream of the crop right now. It just got even more creamy because of this.
Yeah.
Happening.
I don't know. It's great. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know.
I mean, it's okay. Let's go ahead and go over the Rebel one. So the only difference of the Rebels is that it's a mercenary unit and not actually a Rebel unit. You lose one of the heavies, which is
so on that
Crosshair.
On that turn, your average hits is 7.5 without the surges counting because this dice simulator doesn't want to do the surges. So with the surges, it's probably over 8.
And that's sharpshooter 1. So you're getting what, 7 hits through?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is hits. This isn't including blocks. But even with red surge defense, that's an average of 2.4 wounds with red surge and defense. That's
I think that's gonna matter what you're shooting into.
Oh, that's before the pierce too. So it's probably 3.4 into red surge. So that's really good. You're gonna get to alpha something, right? Like
this exactly what this is. It's an alpha,
but doesn't that just leaves
that soaks up damage
exposed?
No, I mean sure, but that's the whole point of their 11 health. They could take the heat. That's the whole idea. They could even soak up. They could play the objective still and run away.
Yeah.
I think your play is gonna get somebody Bad Batch sad day 1. They're gonna be like, they were supposed to survive. They got 3-shotted. Yep, and that was like 200 points of your or 140.
So the way I would play Maul is the way I would play these guys. I get Maul in there, have my army focus them. Maul's gonna die in the game, which is fine. Just Maul needs to put the game on his back before then. That's what Bad Batch is gonna do.
Yeah, just distract the army long enough that you win objectives.
Exactly. back to the rebels is
What activation
Except
number
they have
does this
4
get
more
to?
health than
10?
Maul. So
9?
they have way more health than Maul.
that's why I said 4,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Or is
yeah,
it
yeah.
is it 5?
Well, it's
But
6.
Oh, sorry,
realistically,
5 more health than Maul.
Yeah.
what is this list activation gonna be? Like 9?
9 or 8.
That's
If you don't,
guards are playing now.
yeah, I think 8 is fine these days. And
Yeah.
Gara's already playing 8. So,
Yeah.
and if you don't use a Force user, like if you don't bring an Anakin, you can do 9 acts because you can do like a Rex or something.
You're gonna bring Rex, and then you're gonna give him the order for, or you when you do the take that clankers.
Oh, let me see that. Let me go back to that.
So
That's
That's
gonna be
freaking
range 3.
ridiculous.
That's range 3.
Yeah, in either way, these guys are going to be meta defining
Yes.
in Republic.
Yes.
So we all agree on that.
Yes.
And so I think an Anakin list could work. I do think there is definitely you can do like the clone list, which is Captain Rex, Captain Cody with these guys. Maybe not Cody. I think Rex for sure is going to go great with them because guess what? Rex has scouting party.
Mhm.
So scouting party 2, the Bad Batch, they're definitely getting in round 1 unless you're playing like, I don't know, Long March.
Well, I can even see like if you take Rex, you take that clanker round 1. So now
Yeah.
the weapons are 3 and they move, right?
Yep.
And then you play whatever that card that they have on turn 2. Like
Yeah, we do what we do.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the thing about the
And
take
you-
that clankers is you need to take the physical aim.
Well,
Aim
yeah,
with the tactical
you
doesn't
take it,
count.
you take an aim, and then you move, and then you shoot with steady.
And you know what the other thing, and the other thing is too, is when you have a Bad Batch in front of you, maybe Rex can actually do some of his other cards that he doesn't get to normally matter as much. Like what's the one where he call me captain?
Yeah.
Right?
Captain.
Like, are they gonna like if you do the call me captain on turn 3 or 4, like they might have enough stuff wounded that Rex can actually do that pretty safely.
And like you don't, in my opinion, what if you take Obi-Wan and you just guardian for them?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm still of the mind that you still want a Force user with them, but you know, you could bring Rex. You could bring. I mean, you could do Rex Padme.
You could do Yoda.
Now they have.
You do Yoda. You guidance into a fire shot.
Yeah, I also think Yoda is probably the best one too. But I mean, you could do 9 acts.
Because he could share so many tokens.
Yeah, and he can share tokens, right? So you do a Padme or an Anakin or the Yoda turn, so they can get even more tokens.
And we're forgetting about cash aim 1 and dodge 1, so you can use those whenever you want.
And I think you use those earlier rather than later, and then you just kill tech first.
Yeah.
You know?
It's gonna be bonkers. It's gonna be
and again, I have a list here with 3 commandos, 3 phase 1s with a weapon, Rex and Padme. It all fits. You can fit the same baseline I just gave, and you can fit Yoda.
Yoda
doesn't fit there.
Lowering Dooku's points and everything. Bad Batch, in my opinion, should have been 200 right off the bat.
Yeah, maybe I think 180, but definitely higher.
God. So let me finish the Rebel stuff. Everything's the same. The only difference is that you lose Crosshair,
which I think is actually pretty huge.
Yeah, it is huge because that Pierce 1, and then they lose. They go down in price to 140. So,
but you get the Omega cheese.
Well, yeah, but it sounds like each unit is 20 points, which is ridiculous. Oh yeah, so Omega is a counterpart. It's 10 points to taker. It increases your health by 1, which is something to note because they lose a health. I'm part of the squad too, which Omega does not have to be assigned wounds or be defeated first due to the counterpart keyword. While Omega is in the battlefield, the Bad Batch may use the claim and sabotage repair action, where she has base contact with the objective token as if she was the unit leader. And then she has the range melee to 2 whites. And yeah, I think that's huge on its own because you could definitely cheese some. I think it's what you scout, then you could put her in cohesion into the middle box. But with the new rule, you can't do that anymore on turn 1 or deployment wise.
Well, I thought the rule is the lead. Your leader.
Oh my god! Wait a minute.
Your leader cannot be in base contact. Omega's not the leader. Omega can start off in base contact.
Whoa!
You might be right there, Jose.
No,
Yeah.
I am right. Yes. Because the
What is
same thing
what is
with
the
CAD.
rule?
If you put CAD's token in by the middle box and pop out, you're already in base contact. You just grab and go.
Yeah, but that's a margin
The
of error thing. That's
no,
No,
no.
that's
The
what?
a physical unit leader cannot start in base contact with an objective token. Okay. But CAD's token, Omega is not a leader, and CAD's token is replaced with CAD. So if you put CAD's token in base contact with the box, you can pop up, grab the box, and then leave. People don't do that because they like running CAD up and then teleporting back. But no, you cannot start off in base contact. But the token and Omega are not leaders, so you therefore can start in base contact.
okay. Give me 2 seconds to get to the actual page and get the actual rules. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna
It
look at.
says so the rule specifically says for objective tokens is quotes a unit may not be in base contact with an unclaimed objective token at the end of setup. End quote. So a unit. It doesn't say a unit leader, it says a unit. So the Bane trick works because that token is not a unit, it's a token. I don't know what the ruling is going to be on this. I can see both sides here, but if I had to guess, I would think the ruling is going to be that you can't start with Omega in base contact either. I don't know because she's not the unit, but it doesn't say a unit leader. It says a unit. That's the only thing I have to go off of. But that's a rules question for sure. Like somebody's gonna have to ask that on the forum.
Yeah, I could see them in Rebels being good with Leia and Jyn Erso.
So let's go over. Do we think that they're still completely game breaking busted in Rebels? And my answer is actually, I think they're good, but they're not nearly as good as in Republic. You lose the Pierce
I
from
don't know.
Crosshair, you lose the
Sure.
Precise from Crosshair, and all you're getting is Omega, which has shenanigans, which is great. But I think they play a different role in Rebels, and that's they're playing objective role, and I don't know if Rebels really needs them for that. And I think they're still going to be meta, but I don't think it's like I think in Republic they're going to become faction defining, whereas in Rebels I think they're going to be another thing to do with Hero Hammer. Because the one thing Rebels has that Republic doesn't is they currently have a ton of operatives and a ton of commanders that actually do things, right? So I don't know.
Well, I mean, like Leia's 2-pip, right? When a friendly troop unit is issued an order, it may perform the speed 1 move. That could be huge.
Yeah, I think you can do something like 3 naked fleets, Leia, op Luke, add a speeder truck for Luke, Bad Batch. That's 7x, 615 points. You can still fit in a K2 Cassian or Cassian K2 there or something, right? Like I think you just like go all in on that. What's the word? Like objective play big pieces, right? Because between Luke and the Bad Batch, what are you gonna do? Like these are two pieces that are like Luke can carry a game on his back alone. Would we agree?
Yeah.
Now you have a second unit that can as well in the same list because Rebels doesn't really have another one of those units. They have good units. Ahsoka's good, but she's no Op Luke. Bad Batch is at least an Op Luke. I think they're going to be solid in Rebels. I think you're going to bring, or I think you're going to bring him in Rebels, but like Republic is going to be all Bad Batch. Like literally everyone is going to have a Bad Batch. Whereas in Rebels, there's enough other fun stuff that's different to do that you're going to see a bunch of other stuff still.
I'm going to give my hot take and my future prediction. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Bad Batch is going to be meta defining to the point where we are going to see the return of sniper pierce spam.
They have impervious. Impervious. Yeah. They do not care about.
Who said? I didn't say shoot them. You're gonna have 9 and 8 at the list.
You think Pierce snipers is the answer to everything, though? Like,
I feel like this is gonna change up Rebels and clones. I agree with you, Rob, on it defining clones, but like you could reckless diversion this with Han.
Holy shit, you can.
It's and then you could do Last Stand with Cassian. Like it's just, oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's so many options Rebels can do that can pull off like a trick.
And you know what the nice part about them is, especially for Rebels, and this may be a hot take, but they only have one command card. So you can slot them with any of these super command card heavy people, and it does not matter because they only want their 3-pip. And
Imagine, go ahead.
and I was gonna say is like 3-pips are usually the least important of a unit's cards. But anyways, what are you say?
Imagine doing voluntary mission with Bad Batch. Like that's huge.
Danger Sense 1, red saves, surging. Whew,
Yeah,
that's spicy.
like my God, it's I'm just
Yeah,
okay.
I do like the Cassian. I do like adding Cassian with them. That's a good point.
Somebody has to be the voice of reason here. We're putting too much stock into the wow factor, and I think that's where a lot of people are right now. You have to remember, you're not just adding these guys to, free real estate. You have to lose something. And if you're running them with Luke, I mean, as somebody who's played Luke and somebody like who's played against Luke a lot, like his 3-pips are decent. Like, and yeah, it's not keyword salad, but Luke is very, very about himself. And very about, I need to keep this for me, to keep this game on my shoulders. I think if you're bringing Bad Batch with Luke, you're still putting the game on Luke's back, and Bad Batch is just cream on the side.
I disagree.
But you're sacrificing 140 points, maybe not so much in Rebels, but more so in Gar. Like, the wow factors to the point where it seems like you're kind of forgetting what you're doing to yourself by bringing these things. And yes, they are awesome. Yes, they're going to be great. Yes, they're going to hit like trucks. They're going to do all this, but at the end of the day, you only have so many points, you only have so many activations, and you're chucking a lot because of wow factor onto what this unit could do, instead of also because I always say take into consideration what armies do in general already. So like when you look at like Gar, for instance, commandos slot in because they want to do regular Gar things. They don't, they're just another Gar unit. You add specialty unit like Bad Batch, you're losing some heavies. Like you told me before, Rob, that naked core is not a thing to do. Well, when you're bringing Bad Batch, you're bringing naked core, and four minis is something that can be easily knocked out, especially with a lot of the dice things we're bringing. So I think the wow factor is good, but I think that the wow factor is what's going to make everybody force them into these lists. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to be great, but they're not going to be to the point where it's like this list hinges on this. It's going to be like they're great, and I'm bringing them because I have a plan, not because they're just going to
Of
be the
course.
greatest
So
ever.
the
But
problem with that argument is that they are so cheap for what they do,
yeah.
and like they're going to be great in Rebels because their units are already cheap, and then in
Yeah.
clones they're cheap enough to where you can still stack things. So that's the problem and the issue I have with this unit is it's too cheap for what they do. I think it's going to be amazing for Gar, and I'm happy for them. But as a player of other factions, I'm kind of like sad in the inside because just like it's going to be defining. And
Yeah,
like Lando, ace up your sleeves. Oh, I'm just looking at all of the things I could do with these guys.
I definitely think that just in again focusing on Rebels, and to be clear, when I said I don't remember when I said don't bring naked core, but that's pretty
When we were
much
talking, when I brought
that
naked
was for
core
your
in my
game.
list,
Yeah.
yeah. You're like, you never bring naked core because they need to be doing something in Gar. And then
Yeah.
you just said, well, you could bring naked core with
Yeah.
Bad Batch. It's like, okay, cool.
Well,
Like I
so
said, it just
specifically you would bring the naked core with the Yoda list, and I don't think that I would want to do that. And if you didn't bring Padme, you would be able to fit the heavies, but I
but then
think
you lose
that
Padme, which is a focal point to a lot of Gar lists. Like it's
right.
the give and take. Like a
Again,
lot of these Gar
I
lists are good
think that
because of
these
Padme.
guys are going to become defining, and they're going to change that. Um, they're going to change that, and the reason I said that to you is because you had 4 core units with no heavies, and to me that was like just bring 3 units with heavies.
Well, because
But
I was front loaded into 2 fully loaded Jedi's, and when you
yeah,
take, and then if you're front loading with Yoda and Bad Batch, it's the equivalent of bringing those 2 Jedi's, and you still have naked
but
core. The only thing that changes.
but with commandos now, you have a cheap enough unit that you can just slot in there and still get up to 8 pretty easily. So I don't know. Um, I don't think I would want to bring them with naked core in Republic, but you can. It's kind of where I sit with it. But going back to Rebels, I think that there are just enough units that are already really good and working well together that you can just kind of slot them into most rebel lists, and they'll just make that list better.
But what do you swap in them with?
Well,
Like, I'm
So
curious.
let's give
Well,
me a
look
list,
at
and
it this way.
let's
Look at it this
like
way.
literally give me a
Well,
list.
All you
here's
need,
a-
all you need is 160 points to get everything. You don't even need to give it any other upgrades because they don't have any other upgrades to upgrade it with.
And you don't
It's
have
just,
to worry about command cards, because even if they don't get their one command card, they're probably still fine.
it's 160 points, Jose, for everything we just said. 13 keywords, 11 health. Was that 11 dice?
and the problem
10 dice?
the problem I have is with your supporting units. Like, it's rebels don't have the best supporting units.
Let me
You're
put this in
paying, okay, so
perspective.
and
They
it's not
don't
just
need it.
it's not just 140. You're paying your rebel trooper tax. Like, you're already bringing 3 useless units.
What do
3
you think is
useless
better?
units.
I mean, I do that in Empire all the time. Like, core just suck really bad right now.
No, stormtroopers are not bad. Stormtroopers, I think, are amazing objective like grabbers. Like,
Sure,
they're
but they can do that naked, which is how I do it. But
yeah, but
anyways,
that's different than 4 naked white save units that are going to get blown up.
so here, let's do this. So I'm gonna literally just import. We're gonna talk about what tournament was this? The Atlanta, an Atlanta tournament.
Honestly,
No. Oh,
I'll
well,
just say we should say that for another podcast because we're kind
no. I'm not gonna talk
Yeah,
about it. All I'm gonna say is that a Rebel list won a tournament this weekend, and we're gonna talk about it, but we're not now. But I'm gonna put that list together in Tabletop Admiral, and we're just gonna talk about how we would add Bad Batch, because that seems like the easiest way for us to do this.
No,
and
I
already
agree.
know
We
how.
can do
that. Because they have Pathfinder, so it's easy.
so it's easy.
that list is a squishy 9 that you're bringing down most likely to 8.
Okay, so they had Leia with Vigilance and Portable Scanner. Jeez, I wish this was just an easier button I could have clicked.
Well, name the
But you
player
guys-
first off to give him credit. It's his list.
So this list was by Angry Ewok. And we're literally not using your list to use your list. I just don't have a Rebel list. Apparently, in all of my in my Legion HQs, I don't have like an actual Rebel list saved. So
Because they're bad.
well, yeah, and because Grayson, I guess I never saved any of his because he sent me 1 million. So
Hey, the answer is easy. You drop a time. There's your points right there. Then you got points to spare.
I would drop the Pathfinders, but that's just me.
But that's taking away acts, right? Like if you want to act pad.
True. You just in this list you could literally. I don't know. I would maybe.
You think this list does good without a Force user?
Ahsoka Tano is 196 with all its upgrade increases. Where if there's just base value, Ahsoka Tano is 165. So you have 36 points to play with if you just swap in Bad Batch for Ahsoka Tano. So you can add in more act padding, you can add in more upgrades on your units, you can add in more stuff, and then it's Leia Organa, so you got good support with her.
Yeah. So swap out on Ahsoka. Let's go to another random Rebel list from somewhere. I don't know.
Hold on, before we go to another Rebel list.
Oh yeah.
I just want to clarify. You can get to 10x easily if you swap out Ahsoka Tano. Potentially 11 if you want to cut some stuff. Like that's a 10 act, Jose, with Bad Batch in it that wrecks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
So here's another list.
Is stocky. What I'm saying is, like, we've seen games where rebels do rebel things and stuff, but it's just like I'm more inclined to believe that Bad Batch is going to do better service in guard just because the army that it's in is bringing the red saves and all the token sharing. Not necessarily with them, but just for keep the units around. Like, nobody play what when you ask a rebel player what's the worst units we got? Pathfinders and rebel troopers, and you have to bring rebel troopers. That's 3 wasted acts already.
I just think
can't afford to be down in this type of thing. Leia's not great. This guy brought Leia. When's the last time you saw Leia do anything competitively?
Well, very often, but I just think like maybe that was even the wrong way to go about it. Like, I just think that your argument was, well, you just can't just slot them in a list, and you can't, right? And that's I think my point. But yeah, I think that you can. I think you're better off, of course, building a list around them in Rebels, and I think you can do that. I'm just not a Rebel player, so I don't know what to do.
So here's the thing: with slotting in Ahsoka, you're giving up force push and converting this army into a full gun line. What eats up gun lines? Force push.
The problem.
You're already creating another problem.
The problem here is that you're under the impression that force users are still good in this meta.
They
And
are good.
They're not. They're really not. They get shot off the board consistently because, and you can even punch them to death. Don't get me wrong. Force push is a very powerful thing to do in Legion, but it's not, I would say, not reliable because of all the nerfs that came to the force user. It's game changing, but how often are you going to be able to just get shot off the board? Like you're going to be put into a situation where you're going to have to force push good on a turn where you're going to have to be safe. And I feel like with Bad Batch, you're not going to be safe because then I withdraw and I shoot you with Bad Batch, or if you base Bad Batch, I have impervious, and I punch you in the face, right? Preferably you want to shoot at them, but these guys,
you're so down on force users. It's wild, bro.
I don't
hold on. These guys can move behind an LOS to shoot at a force user after it's already gone. Like it's huge.
But that's the thing, that's why I say like that the problem is gonna be like your army base, because you're playing in this mental game of yours. You're playing this where you are up in axe. My whole thing with this is when you bring them in Gar, you're gonna have naked core, which is either gonna be hidden, not doing
only if you have Yoda
picked off. No, well, in general, like I'm just saying, like
you can have an 8-act list with three guns on your core and run Bad Batch.
And no, well, I'm just saying in general, like I just believe that like it's a lot of stock to put in to hope that you're gonna be up in axe to pull this off.
I mean, you can run in Rebels, you can run Leia, Cassian, Ahsoka, Bad Batch, and K2, 3 Rebel troopers, and you still have 100 points, right? And if you want to do the vet thing, which Rebels like to do, which I don't actually think is good, but like the vet,
and everybody does it.
Yeah, the vet blaster thing, right? You can literally go up to 9 acts with that, and that's vets, blasters, K2, Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Cassian, Leia with vigilance. Like that's so much. Like
we're gonna need to see more tournament data. I'm with you on that aspect, because like looking at the tournaments I've looked at, like we are seeing a flood of commandos, but they're not doing nothing great. And like the 32-person event that we had full like a lot of commandos taken in that event, and the closest commando unit got to 9th place. That wasn't even top 8. I'm interested to see where Bad Batch lands. Because like, I mean, at one point, if they're either gonna make top 8s, make top 4s, and win, or we're just gonna keep making excuses of why they're good but they're not good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that
we'll just have to see.
I don't think it's gonna pan out that way.
We haven't really even gone over the Omega plays in Rebels or the sheer firepower in Gar. And I think that without us going around in a circle again, I'm just going to conclude by saying probably the best unit to be released since Dark Troopers.
Yes, I agree.
Like, and I think Range Troopers are okay. I think Commandos are great, but not completely OP. And by the way, they're on that level between just great and OP. But these are just way too good.
Like especially what we said, how they're going to be really good with Padme. I think all of Padme's command cards go really good with Bad Batch. Like,
yeah, and I by the way, you can't actually have Cassian, K2, Ahsoka, and the Bad Batch because that's 3 operatives. But I mean, just a Cassian, Bad Batch, those command cards work great together. Lando, his command cards work great with them. Han, they work great with them. Like you can literally slot them into all these lists in Rebels where the command cards were meant to be used on like shitty white saves, and now they're being used on surging red saves, and it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't shoot at my my white saves because you're having to shoot at the red surging saves. That's just so good, right?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be mental gymnastics to a point, because you're gonna have to work around that red chunk unit, and yeah, sometimes you're not gonna be able to. Other times you're gonna have to do it. I think it's gonna. This unit needs to be up on X, period, or need to have a way to cheat.
I so disagree. They're 11 health red saves. 11 health.
That's
more than Darth Vader.
An ATSC.
And what do you do to an ATSC? You just avoid it. You
not
always.
Why do you avoid it? Why do you avoid it though?
Because it is armor, but
yeah, but what do you do? What do you do? What do you do while avoiding it?
It doesn't have the firepower to kill a single unit.
But what do you do? What do you do while you're avoiding the AATS? You kill everything else around it. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that
you just
that
said earlier in this podcast that you can't ignore Bad Batch. You're implying to ignore Bad Batch.
no, I just said right now that you might. I said it's going to be mental gymnastics. You're going to have to try to either go around them, but you're not going to. I just said you're not going to be able to fully ignore them. But I think if you can get the act padding on there, whatever they're doing, if you can get the act padding down in your favor, I think it does you a lot better to handle them later if you can force that engagement later. They're a range 2 unit with a lot of keywords, but if you can force that engagement later and push it into your plan, then I think you come out a lot better. Like, I think that's what's gonna end up having to be the play to beat them. Is you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to hold out till you have to score KP, and then they have 3 less acts because you got their rebel troopers out, or you're gonna have to hold on just a little bit longer to where, you know, if I've deleted most of your army and they're still full health, then I'm okay with that. Like,
one thing I do want to mention is I disagree on that entirely, because unlike in ATSC, these things die. And that's what I still need to see on the table, is because once you lose 3 wounds, Wrecker's dead. Once you lose another 2 wounds, you lose tech. And your dice pool starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You start losing those keywords that matter. And so we need to see them on the table. And that's maybe going to matter a lot. But I think,
like, what if you alpha them like you said you were, and then an item player alphas and wins the roll off? Now you have to hope that fucking tax strike does not derail you.
okay.
Like
how
that
is it?
tax strike pool can be fucking nasty sometimes.
I don't think you alpha them at the beginning of a round. You offer them at the end of the round.
But okay, but I'm saying we've seen ISF tax strike alpha round 1. Let me just see what happens, and it's panned out a lot of the times more than not.
So I mean, the difference is now is I don't actually think they're an alpha unit, to be fair. I just think they're
okay.
But
I was talking about JR's remark.
Yeah, but ISF alphas fail because after that alpha, they're literally garbage.
Right? Yeah, but if I alpha and you get a bad roll, rolls, you know, we play in a dice game, I'll gladly sacrifice an ISF to severely wound a Bad Batch unit.
But now you're losing.
Yeah, I don't know.
For now.
For now, that's the problem, and they're still alive, and they can run away.
Well, but if you alpha, so that's fine. If they're running away, they're not doing anything later.
Well, that's what in most competitive games, it comes down to one turn, one alpha strike to decide the tone for the rest of the game. That's why alpha strikes are a thing. Because if you get a good alpha strike, then your opponent is now playing at a huge disadvantage where you're probably already snowballing.
Yeah.
So I think they can alpha strike. I don't think it's a bad idea to alpha strike with them, because if you cripple a unit severely on turn 1, it's just icing on the cake thereafter, right?
But it's the same thing like backwards. Like, what if you lose a roll off and I alpha severely cripple your unit? Now, like I said,
this is a dice game. You're correct. Like, you could throw a lot of dice into Bad Batch and they could all be whiffs. Correct.
It takes the amount of dice to kill 2 Boba Fetts, to kill a Vader and a half. Not a half but like a Vader plus. They just have a ton of a ton of health that killing them, like finishing them off, is not going to be easy.
No.
And you can't rely on Pierce because they're impervious. So even like throwing in a Darth Vader into them, that's 5 red, 6 if you have Commander Vader, but that's not going to kill them in 1 shot or 2 shots. He's probably going to be there for 3 to 4 turns trying to kill them if you throw Vader at them.
Arguably, it'd probably be better with Omega and Rebels, but honestly, I think these guys are going to really want to play them in objective play. You don't want to give them recover supply. You don't want to give them hostage. You don't want to give sabotage. Like, there's just, even bombing run, I'd argue you wouldn't want to give.
No.
So, like, that alone is just going to once they get that objective play.
Yeah, you want to be playing intercept and KP. That's your goal. And they're going to want to bid so that you can't.
Yeah.
Like Bad Batch, especially in Rebels, to be
Yeah.
clear,
Mm.
is a
Oh,
we're
so I don't
bringing
think you're
we're
getting a
bringing a
bit
bit.
in Gar.
And then especially even breakthrough, because you can kill things on the way.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're bringing breakthrough, hostage. I don't know about hostage, but definitely recover. Definitely
Hostage,
breakthrough.
because then you play what we do on turn 2, and you double move and just wipe them
Kill the
off the board.
hostage or try to kill that. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But like this is a list that can play sabotage down on X, because you know what you can do? Round 6, you can play that 3-pip that gives you 2/3 speed moves. The very last activation that you have that game, you tap their VAT.
Well, you can't do 2 speed 3 because you got to save an action to sabotage it.
Sorry, but you can do a
But
speed 3.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but you could, but even just being 11 health, the last 2-3 rounds, you can like from the beginning of the game, you can just start barreling towards that and just keep them busy with the rest of your army and just go tap that VAT. But your army can die, right? You're playing it like Ewoks. You could lose your entire army as long as they don't tap your VAP and you tap theirs at the end of the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I think they're going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting when they drop to see where everything goes.
You play this. They're gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's very in awe of them right now, and I think that's gonna. I don't know. I think that's gonna taper off.
All right, guys. With that being said, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
all right.
That was long.
Well, so down to 1 sentence then, because I just don't want to do this. We told Roman we'd talk about VetFest more,
okay.
But I'm just gonna say, what list are you gonna bring to VetFest, JR? What are you bringing?
EXD, baby. You guys are prepared for me.
Are you really bringing EXD?
I love it. I love it.
I don't know what I'm bringing, man.
Dang, you can't do that. VXD. Do it. Win on VXD and then say this list sucks.
You know what? Yeah, you're probably right. I should bring EXD because I still need to secure an invite to LVO.
There you go.
So
I think you could win an invite with Maul, but I think you're better off playing Maul because you actually know how to do it. But EXD is such an easy list to play, like comparatively to like a Maul list, that you should be fine.
I feel like if I don't take a list that I want to have fun with, I probably will just default to EXD.
Yeah, but I think you could win on.
So he's gonna auto win it now.
What are you gonna play, Jose?
I might bring the old man, dude, just to keep making my point.
I'd love to see you bring Dooku.
Nothing feels better than to meet JR at the top table and then tell Rob suck it as I lose. On a judge call.
Yeah, there's that grass is definitely light cover when JR is standing in it and no cover when you're standing in it.
I'm just on Dooku right now.
If I play, unless I get bored with this list, there's a damn high chance I'm still playing. And actually, Bad Batch might be out. What did Bad Batch release again?
Mid-July.
It says
it's like mid-July.
Yeah, and VetFest is mid-July, so let's see.
It doesn't really say.
No, it should be there.
Let's see.
Well, it's not an article, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the scene to stats. It doesn't.
Just go on AMG and look at the pre-order. It should have the release date there.
Are you taking Palpatine and Vader, Rob?
If I play, yeah, I'm probably. So if I do play, I'm probably bringing my range trooper Vader Palpus. It's just so much fun, and I've already got an invite. So
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of want to go on the fun side. Jose, I think you should bring Dooku and Asajj.
To be clear,
no,
I do
way too much.
I do also think my list is competitive and good, not just fun. I just also find it fun. And I've actually yet to lose with it. So
it's not out till after VetFest, July 19th. And as in typical AMG fashion, there's usually a delay.
Then Jose, also just note that you could take the Sith rule off with Dooku.
I know, but I don't have Asajj. I have to borrow it from you. Not Asajj. Yeah. I agree with you. There's no room for Asajj in a Dooku list. That's great. But right now, like, I think that Dooku is just
who you can fit with Asajj, and it's a great list.
If you say Maul. Bad, no kidding.
Maul, thank you.
It's a really fun
but
list.
I love
I know
Maul's great. I know Maul's
you should play that. Play your Asajj Maul.
I could. That would be fun to play.
Then I will definitely not be playing, and I will definitely be judging.
I think
I'm not gonna lie. That was. I'm just trying not to play the same list over and over again. Like, I like to switch it up, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you bring EXD, that is a new list. So
He's
Batch,
only
I've
playing
never played it.
EXD. He's only playing EXD until Bad Batch drops, and then he's a committed guard player after that.
Yep. I'm gonna put on my
I-
helmet. I'm guard, baby boys.
so I bought a Gar army from Nick, and I'm looking at all the stuff I want to play in Gar, and I'm like, all right, so Commandos and Bad Batch, so I have to buy basically my whole army. All I have is the core and
Filler.
the commander.
In fact, I have some medieval clones I need Jose to paint, and I ordered some medieval werewolves for my Wookiees for the
Oh my god,
for the guard player.
That thing he uses is legal. My God.
those are
fun.
definitely not legal.
It's
They may be
fun.
fun, but those are not legal.
I don't care. It's fun. That's all that
Nobody,
matters.
yeah,
I'm
in the
in this
casual
game to
game,
have
it's
fun,
fine.
baby.
But yeah, you do not play to have fun. You play to win. But
See, the where he
That's
cheats is he has that
aggressive.
that one stormtrooper leader that's just ankles and a base, and so he hides it, so you don't know that unit's ever there until it's too late,
dang.
and then they come
Oh,
out
yeah.
and he steals the KP.
Oh, you thought this was phase 1 trooper? No, this is the phase 2. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you.
All right, well, we should probably be signing off here pretty soon.
Yeah. All right,
So-
boys. Yeah, that batch looks crazy. Vet Fest.
Oh, they're gonna be
man.
insane.
July 13th.
That
Sign
fast.
up, show up, or just come by and hang out with us. It'll be a good
Nope, you got to play. Please play. We want to make this an LVOIS, or sorry, it is an LVOIS full qualifier. I would like to, I don't know if Roman does. I would like to, if we can get like 17, 18 people, then next year we can say, hey, let's make this a GT or apply for it. And maybe we'll get GT status.
Yeah.
And it could be a 32 to 64 player event. And then each year it could just keep getting bigger and bigger until we have the best Legion event in all of California. And that
Oh,
is the
God.
goal. Is to
That
make
is
this
the goal. I like that
premier-
goal. I'm
the
on
premier
board with
Legion event in California.
that.
Because
Yeah.
we're central.
Mhm.
Everybody can come to us. We're 4 hours from San Francisco. We're within 4 hours from LA. We're a little bit farther from San Diego. 4 hours from Sacramento. And again, it's closer for a lot of these places, but within 4 hours is the like good driving distance to do this kind of thing. So we're there. Bakersfield, even Tehachapi. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, any last thoughts on that?
Yeah, just remember, don't jump on the hype train, because if you get on the hype train, you're going to be severely disappointed.
You're not going to be
and
disappointed with
You're
Bad
not
Batch.
going to be happy with it.
You
If
will,
you set your expectations where they should be, and you don't go on the wow factor, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Commandos, and you can't see this if you're just listening, but Commandos are really high. And then you've got Dark Troopers, which are way higher. And then above the ceiling, maybe even in the sky with the planes, is you have the Bad Batch.
And it's so bad that like Maul is like all the way at the bottom.
Oh my God, Force users are not terrible.
We're just but I mean they're gonna be they're gonna hot take, Bad Batch might beat EXD.
Yeah, it can.
I think they can.
Yeah.
I think they out objective EXD and win.
Yeah, it's true. It's
They
not-
just they're
We're
not
gonna come back to this episode and it's about Jose was right.
They're not gonna get one shot by a B.
Hold on.
squad.
We
We'll
have
never
me and
say you're
Jose.
right.
Me and Jose have a tradition here. Jose makes a hot take, and I challenge him.
No.
Challenge him on this hot take. All right, Jose, you're sticking to your guns. That Bad Batch is not going to be good.
No, I didn't say they weren't going to be good. I don't
Okay,
think they're going to be
all right.
as.
You said
as
don't be
great.
disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a minute. We got
Like, there's no way to frame this because I
need
didn't
some
say
free
they're bad.
paint. I need some free paint. Let's make a deal.
Ooh.
Let's make a bet here. What are we doing here? What's going on? How are
I'd
we
like to.
defining this?
I'd like to bet Jose that that Bad Batch will
You-
win a major
you-
tournament within a month of their release.
You know what's funny is I called Jerry. I don't think you were around at this time, but it was around the time of CIS's like dominance, and I was
Okay.
like, before I even saw the field, I forgot what turn. It was a major tournament event, and I was like, CIS takes it hands down, and Jerry was like, no way, there's no way CIS takes it, and fucking CIS, not even knowing who was playing anything, CIS came out on top. I just called it months before the tournament even panned out, and I was laughing so hard.
More
So-
importantly, are you going to take Rob's bet?
For what?
Well, no, you get the actual bet, right? Because you're the one that called for it first. I think that should be your bet. So
Okay.
so basically, and I don't know what you guys are going to wager on it, but that Bad Batch will win a major tournament within 1 month of release.
I'm down with that. And the prize will be
Or maybe we make Gen Con the
You
final.
realize that's only like two.
August.
That's only like by a major tournament. You mean one of the main 8? LVO,
No.
Atlantic City Open.
Well,
those are majors.
What if we say 32 player plus?
No, because that's not a major. A major is 100 plus. That's LVO. That's Adepticon. That's
There's only
Atlantic
like
City
2 major
Open.
tournaments then, because it's literally
No,
just LVO and Adepticon.
the FLG
Maybe
circuit
Gen
is
Con.
the majors. No, the FLG are so in the Legion season. There's 8 majors. There's LVO. There's Adepticon. There's Atlantic City Open.
Well,
There's a
Adepticon is
Texas
not
Open.
FLG, but
There's a Texas or whatever Open. There's a bunch of them. Like they're gonna release it soon. Like they always
I mean,
release like this
I would
band.
consider the Indie Open that just happened a major, and that wasn't even a GT. Like that was like 80 people. I would say like 32 plus for this bet, because we don't know how many, because as you're saying, we don't know how many of these major events there are going to be then. So it'll win a 32 player plus event.
I'm down with that. You want to do that bet? You don't have to.
32
I'm
plays.
just teasing.
Plus.
No, I'm always down for these bets because like
Okay, so
it's
So
I'm
what's the
trying to
wager
figure
then?
out.
The
I'm
wager-
trying to
the wager
figure
would
it out
be-
because the last bet we did was a major, and that was when I bet CIS would take it, not even knowing who the CIS player was. Luckily, the CIS player ended up kicking Luke Cook's butt. That's the one
No,
where
that-
Luke took Iden ISF, and all his dice rolls went terrible. And I'm laughing as we're watching the freaking stream. And Jared's like, I can't believe this right now.
Which was very frustrating because it was a bad dice roll. But anyway,
He should have won. He should have won.
He should have won.
Anyways,
should've won.
what do you guys? What's the wager? What's
The wager is that if I win, you gotta pay something for me free. If I lose, I will double the next thing you pay for me for free. Not free, but pay for me.
Okay.
That's wild because that's
you
like,
need to like
Oh,
clarify
so
what.
yeah, because you're gonna bring
what he's
Galactus and be like
painting.
you're painting this bitch for
No,
free.
no,
Yeah.
something for Legion. Something for Legion. You know, like
A single
Legion.
unit for Legion. How
Like-
about Bad Batch? How about if you win, he paints
No,
Bad
because
Batch?
I gotta find a medieval Bad Batch before I play Bad
Oh
Batch.
my god.
He doesn't play real models, so I shouldn't even be painting. I should be
The-
charging
the-
you extra
the
because I have to
only-
paint these things in one piece, even harder, and then stick them to stupid clear bases.
I
You know
got
how
some-
frustrating that is. You have any idea how frustrating that is?
Get ready for some werewolves, bro. I got some werewolves.
All right.
How's that speed paint, Rob? I think I might go that route this time.
I like it. I like it. I'm a huge fan. But okay, so
So
JR pays
Bad Batch-
double?
Bad Batch will win a major tournament.
so double for, are you gonna do, let's do whatever you're going to have him paint be what you pay double for.
When's Atlantic? When is
that's fine.
when-
Make it easy.
Okay.
when is which tournament happens in
I don't even know.
August? Is it
well,
Atlantic
Gen
City
Con.
or is it? No. There's like Atlantic City, and then there's another one. I know those ones have big ass turnouts.
Well, Gen
want a
Con's gonna be the
big-
biggest tournament of the month.
I'm gonna laugh if at that tournament everybody brings Gar with Bad Batch. That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah, no, the biggest tournament that month is definitely gonna be Gen Con in August. Without even knowing what's then.
Yeah.
There's the new Brit app. I forget what it's called.
We'll iron out the details, but there's gonna be a bet. But we
All
should.
right.
I gotta
Yeah.
get to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win.
all right.
I think they'll be top 8 for sure because there's enough people are gonna bring them, but I don't see them being enough to win. Like,
Okay, it's gotta
I
be
think if
32 though, right?
I think if they win, it's gonna be because it's Obi. Obi's gonna make them win.
I'm gonna make my own tournament and just put.
Yeah, Jared's gonna go to the tournament we're
betting.
betting on.
Yeah.
Give him some money. All
We'll
right.
figure it out, but I'm definitely down. I'm down for that.
All right, boys. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Those that
Luke
listen,
Cook
thank you
beat
for
Bad
listening.
Batch everywhere, please.
Actually,
You gotta
yeah.
bring
So
Bad Batch.
so 2 to 3 months from now, we've got the Indie Open, we got Gen Con, and then we've got one in Dallas. So the Big D Showdown. So I don't even know how big that's going to be, but there's not that many events.
Oh,
in the
what am
month
I
after there,
doing?
so.
Hold on. Go to the where's it at? I'll tell you right now.
Oh, MKGT is Saturday, August 10th, so that'll be out there as well. So, but they don't get their
No.
stuff until later. So, but anyways, we should sign off.
All right, boys.
All right,
Thank you guys
later.
for joining. Those listening, thank you.
Lone Star Open and Atlantic City Open. So I have to look
Peace
into
out.
those because
Okay.